Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about some mortgage broking secrets. I'm going to discuss our experiences using mortgage brokers in the industry and also our experience dealing directly with the banks. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of all of those options. Make sure you leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. We're trying to grow this YouTube channel, so that'd be awesome. Alright, so mortgage brokers. What do they do and who are they and how can they help you? Now, a mortgage broker is simply someone that is a broker between you and a financial institution that is willing to lend you money. They help broker the deal for you and they're supposed to try and get you the best deal they can within the market. Brokers typically have access to anywhere between 6 to 20 banks in your country, and they can help you evaluate what you're trying to achieve and how you can get there. Typically people focus on finding the best interest rate, but brokers can also help you find fixed rates that suit your position or options for variable rates that might be better suited to your structure and property portfolio. So our experience with brokers has been up and down over our investing journey, and I want to tell you first some of the good things about brokers. Now, a broker is not going to cost you any money, so that is a big win. The bank pays the broker directly once the deal settles, and it also is likely to pay the broker a trailing commission from anywhere up to 12 to 24 months after your loan has settled. So brokers will typically encourage you not to refinance within that period as they're paid their trailing commission over that point in time. So the positive is that you don't have to pay the broker anything and the bank or the lender that you're using. So the great part is that you don't have to pay the mortgage broker a commission as they're going to get paid that by the bank over time. Now, the broker also has access to multiple lenders, and that's another big positive, is that they can look at multiple financial institutions and pick the right lender that suits your needs. If you're a first home buyer, there might be banks out there that have great cashbacks or bonuses for signing up as a first home buyer. If you're a long-term investor and you're wanting to aggressively build a portfolio and use lender's mortgage insurance, there might be banks out there that are more likely to accept your risk tolerance and lower loan to value ratios. So that is another positive, is that the broker has a broad spectrum of banks they can look at, and they're going to assess you and try and put you to the right bank. Now let's talk about some negatives of using brokers. Some brokers can make promises they can't keep, and we specifically found that experience. Without going through the process of getting full pre-approval, we engaged a broker and chatted with them about buying one of our properties. This property actually, that we're currently in, and it was a dramatic process once we'd actually got the property under contract. The broker we held discussions with weeks before we even got the property under contract. They looked at our position and our portfolio, our income and our expenses, and on their own assessment said that we were likely to easily get finance for the property and that they could happily help us to build our portfolio to buy this third property. Now, after we signed the property and got it under contract, we went back to the broker and said, hey, we've got the property under contract. Let's go out and get the finance sorted so we can meet our 14-day clause. The broker said, no worries, we'll get you your finance, you'll have no issues. 3 or 4 days had passed since we'd signed the contract. I touched base with the broker and actually been passed on to one of their credit analysts within the broking group. I was no longer dealing with the head broker, who was kind of one of the sales front representatives of the broker, and was now dealing with a lower level credit analyst who was actually going to finalize and process the application. He seemed to be a little inexperienced, and after 4 or 5 days had passed, I started to get worried as I wasn't receiving much feedback on the processing of our loan. By day 6 and 7, they had come back to us and said, we can't help you. Your situation's too difficult and we're not going to be able to find financing for you. The bank that we're trying to use, which was Suncorp, they were trying to refinance us to, and that isn't a reflection of Suncorp, it just might have been a reflection of the relationship that the broker had with the bank manager they were discussing. The situation was too convoluted with a couple of properties in our portfolio, And the credit analyst at the broking place basically said, sorry, we can't help you anymore. Good luck finding a lender. We wish you all the best. Now, we were not very happy about that situation as we'd already signed a contract and we were 7 days into a 14-day finance clause. So by that night, I contacted our current bank, Commonwealth Bank of Australia, CBA, and had contacted maybe 5 or 6 other lenders in a really short period of time, because we were dying to get the property, we absolutely loved it, and we didn't want to let this contract fall through. Long story short, on that front, we were able to secure finance in the 14-day period with a bit of drama and a back and forth with the selling agent, and Commonwealth Bank pulled through and was able to finance the property for us. So a negative of using a broker is sometimes they might not fulfill on what they said, and if you don't have full pre-approval, then you are maybe taking a stab in the dark. Now, we probably won't look to go ahead without pre-approval or without a big confidence in our finances, but this was more of an emotional purchase for us, as we were buying a place for ourselves and it wasn't just for an investment. Another negative of using brokers is that even though they might say they have access to 10 or 20 lenders, they might realistically only sign their clients up to 1 or 2 big banks, because a broker's goal and drive to get revenue is based on the loans they sign, and not actually helping you get the true best terms for your investment property. The brokers really, and there are brokers out there that are investment savvy, but a lot of brokers out there just want to get the deal signed and go with a bank that is easiest, not necessarily best for your investment situation. So definitely keep an eye out and question a broker if they really only look at using one option for financing, and just to understand that there might be other options out there that would better suit your needs. Now, that is some good and some bad about using mortgage brokers, but now I want to discuss something that it might be controversial, and that is actually going directly to the bank. I've seen a lot of YouTubers and people online talk about not ever dealing directly with a bank, and that, you know, if you're dealing with a bank, you're not looking at the other options and you're not getting a good deal. And a broker would more likely be able to help you. Now, I understand that the market is about 50-50 with mortgage brokers and people dealing directly with banks, but our experience dealing directly with the bank has actually been very positive. Now, a good part about dealing directly with the bank is you don't need to go through a middleman to get the right information, and the bank can be quite fast in their turnaround, as the large banks here in Australia have a lot of staff working on your loan processing, and you might actually deal with a broker that works internally at the bank, as we did. And now, I'm not saying dealing directly with the bank is the best thing, but it's definitely an option we wouldn't recommend people steer clear of if you know how to check everything that you're doing. A hot tip that you might want to take away when dealing with the banks and you're looking to build a portfolio is watching out for cross-collateralization. Cross-collateralization is where you buy one property and it has a loan, and then the bank ties both of those loans into a larger loan when you buy the second. Essentially, you just create a big loan rather than having one loan for each property separately. When we were dealing directly with the bank, the broker there did encourage us to go down that route, but we were wise to the situation and ensured that we didn't collateralize the loans. That means if we wanted to sell a property or take one of those properties to another bank that was more competitive for us, we'd be free to do so. With the 2 properties under one loan, if you wanted to shift a property to another bank, you'd have to also do a new loan to rejig and refinance your situation. So it quite convolutes the situation when you're financing, and it's not really a great option. But obviously this is not financial advice, so get specific advice for your circumstances. Now, to summarize this video all up about the mortgage broking secrets, I hope you found it interesting between the good, the bad, and the ugly of our experiences with mortgage brokers and banks. Now, to reveal to you our hot tip when going for a loan, it's to have multiple brokers and banks working for you if you don't have pre-approval in place. That'll give you comfort and help you know that you're doing everything you can to secure your next property purchase. Of course, if you can get pre-approval, that's a great way to give you confidence when you're looking to buy a property. So definitely go out and do that if you have the time to do that before you go and get a property under contract. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. Make sure you leave this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you if you've got any questions or any topics that you'd like me to talk about down the track. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Is there someone knocking? Nope. Definitely had someone. What was I saying?